Welcome back, Nighttime Nights. So, today we're going to be talking about how light pollution affects people. So, we're going to start with a question. What are your daily routines? What are things that you do every day? So, some things that I do every day is I go to school, I eat some food, and I sleep at night. And even though a lot of us do different things during the day, most of us have the same routine. We work and play during the day and then sleep at night. And our bodies rely on the sun and the darkness to tell us what time of day it is. When our bodies see the sun above us, we know that it's daytime, and when it gets dark, we know that it's nighttime and time to go to bed. And just like we need the sun during the day, it's really important to have darkness at night. Our bodies rely on the sun and darkness to keep a daily routine and tell us what time it is. The fancy name for this routine is the circadian rhythm. And the circadian rhythm is how we know what time of day it is, and it keeps the balance between sleeping and being awake. Alright, so we've talked a lot about how light can affect plants, animals, and humans at night. But did you know that there are actually different types of light? So there's a range of light that the human eye can pick up. And this range actually looks like a rainbow. So on one end we have the warmer lights, like red, orange, yellow, and on the other end we have the cooler lights like green, blue, purple. And those cooler lights we usually call blue light. And blue light actually disrupts our ability to sleep. So that's why it's really important that we aren't exposed to blue light before we go to bed, because we might not be able to sleep as well. And excessive light, just like blue light, can affect our ability to sleep. Scientists are doing really important studies about how much light before you go to bed can affect how you sleep. And just like we need really bright blue light, like we get from the sun during the day to stay healthy, it's really important to have darkness and less blue light at night. So these glasses have a really special ability. They're able to show us what kind of light is coming from a different kind of light. So when I put on these glasses, I'm able to see that range that looks like a rainbow coming from the lights. And I'm able to see whether a light gives off warmer lights or cooler blue light. So let's put on our glasses. We're going to do a demonstration and look at different kinds of lights. And we're going to see what kind of light each light gives off. Let's go! Alright, so let's look at some pictures of some light bulbs and the types of light that they give off. So these pictures are taken through those glasses that I was wearing. So we can see the range of lights that each light bulb gives off. And remember, that range is that rainbow that we can see. So this first light bulb gives off really white light. And on that light that we can see, the little rainbow there, we can see pretty much every color of the rainbow. But there's especially a lot of blue. And that is because it has a lot of that cooler and blue light, and it's really white light. So whenever we see a white light, it's probably giving off a lot of that blue harmful light. Alright, our second light is the same type of light as the last one, but as we can see, the light is a lot less white. So it gives off about the same amount of light, but the light is a lot more yellow. And that means that it has less blue light. And we can still see that rainbow range, and we can still see that there's a lot of blue, but there's a lot less blue light than the light before. So let's look at another. Alright, light number 3. So this light is called a bug light, and that is because it is made so that it helps protect the animals and plants around it. And a lot of animals see very differently than we do. So this light is made without any of that blue light so that the animals and plants around it will be healthier and safer. So let's look at that rainbow range. And we can see that we see no blue light. And remember that blue light is really harmful and stops us from producing melatonin. So this light is really good because there's no blue light, and it's always better to have no light, to have darkness, but if we do need a light, this is the best kind because it has no blue light. Wow, that's a bright light. So this is the flashlight of a phone. So maybe we are outside or looking around for something in the dark, and we take a phone and we turn on the flashlight. So look how much blue light is coming off of that. So this is again a really white light, and it obviously does its job, but it has a lot of that really harmful blue light, so if possible, we want to find one of those bug lights. Maybe we have a flashlight with a warmer light so that we can not have to use this really white blue light. So this is what we're looking at when we're looking at an electronic or any other really white light. So we can see that there's a lot of blue light. This is maybe even one of the bluest lights that we have looked at. So remember that blue light is really harmful and can make it hard for us to produce melatonin and sleep well. So this is one example of why at night we should try to limit all of our blue light so that we can stay healthy and sleep well. Because electronics or other really white lights have a lot of that blue light that makes it hard for us to sleep and can confuse our circadian rhythm. Alright, that was pretty cool, wasn't it? So as we saw in that demo, a lot of lights give off blue light. Can someone recap what blue light is for me? That's right. Blue light is a kind of light that a lot of light bulbs give off. Blue light is really bad for human health. And it can confuse our circadian rhythm, and it can confuse our bodies about what time it is. Phones and other electronics give off blue light. And when we use phones and other lights at night, it can make our bodies think that it's daytime when it's actually nighttime and time to go to bed. So when we're surrounded by natural darkness, our bodies produce a really good chemical called melatonin. And melatonin helps us sleep and is what makes us feel well rested. So how do you feel when you don't get enough sleep? Do you feel grumpy and tired? I know I feel really grumpy and tired when I don't get enough sleep. And it doesn't feel very good to not be well rested, right? So that blue light that we were talking about earlier can actually prevent us from producing enough melatonin. And when we don't get enough melatonin, it actually makes it harder for our bodies to fight off diseases like cancer and obesity. And when we don't get enough blue light, it also increases our likelihood to become depressed. So 2 ways that we can make sure that we get enough melatonin is by 1, limiting electronic use at night, and 2, by dimming our lights at night and making sure that we're not around any lights that produce blue light. And it's super important to get that blue light during the day, like from the sun, but it's just as important to not have that blue light at night so that we can produce enough melatonin and get enough sleep. Now that we have learned what blue light is and why it's bad, we're going to explore how to keep that blue light out of our homes if there's a light outside. So let's go watch this demo.
Hi.
Hello.
Is this a demonstration of light pollution?
No. Light pollution is excessive, misdirected, or obstructive artificial light. Too much light pollution can wash out starlight, disrupt ecosystem, and waste energy.
So what is this a demonstration of?
Let me show you. Imagine you live in this house and this is your neighbor.
Wow.
Or Would you rather have this house as your neighbor?
I would definitely rather live next to this house.
I agree with you. This house is an example of light trespass.
Why is light trespass a problem?
Light trespass is light falling where it is not intended, wanted, or necessary, and is often caused when an unshielded or poorly placed light fixture spills light onto the property of a neighbor and can detract from property values and quality of life. Unshielded floodlights can shine into a neighbor's house to cause sleep disruption. They can also cause bad feelings among neighbors, and it's a big waste of energy. And it may not prevent crime as one might believe.
What if I end up living next to a house like this?
Your neighbor might not be aware of the problem. Try discussing the problem with your neighbor in a non-confrontational manner. Also discuss motion sensing lighting or timed lighting for certain periods of the evening.
Wow! I've never heard of light trespass. That was so helpful.
So what have we learned today? We've learned that not only does the dark help us sleep, but it also helps us protect ourselves from illnesses and other unhealthy habits. So we're going to do an activity. So once it gets dark, I want you to go outside or look out a window with a responsible adult. And I want you to turn off any artificial outdoor lights that you have control of. And then focusing on your senses, I want you to answer the following questions that are also on your nighttime senses observation activity sheet. Can you see the moon and the stars? What is the brightest thing that you see? Close your eyes and listen. What do you hear? Can you smell anything? If so, what is it? And what can you feel using your sense of touch? Like, is there any wind? Maybe there's grass. And finally, does the air feel different at night than during the day? All right, have fun doing your activity, and I'll see you next time.